before Thanksgiving here in the USA. So, you know, I'm a little out of my routine. Hubby has been home from work all week. So, that has me all thrown off. My skidge, my normal skidge. Okay. So, welcome to my November Celebrate Everything or All the Seasons November online card class. We are going to be making 4 cards today. They do have a lot of coloring, so I'm going to encourage you to settle in, get comfortable, grab yourself a cup of joe or a cup of tea. I have a cup of hot tea here. I've never been a tea drinker, but I'm trying really hard to get off of drinking coffee and just having it occasionally. So, tea it is. And it's actually really good. I found a great place online called David's Tea. All right, so I'm gonna pop the information for ordering into the chat. Real quick. So this is a special host code. If you use this host code, you will get the PDF for the class when you place your order. You'll get the PDF for the class, a thank you card. We'll talk about it. Okay, so here's what we're doing. This is our YouTube live card class for November. When you place an order with me by November 27th using this host code, you will receive the PDF for this class, a thank you card for this class that's different than my November thank you card. And if you place that's for a $35 order. If you place a $50 order, you also will get the 2021-23 in color opal rounds. So these are super cute, and you'll get these free when you place a $50 online order or more using this host code here. So I'm gonna set this aside and we're just gonna get started. We're gonna talk about what we're using. Hopefully it's not too noisy in the background. My husband is using the leaf blower to clean things up, so hopefully you guys can't hear that. Okay, we're gonna use the Cheerful basket bundle. This is such a cute bundle, and I am absolutely dismayed to tell you it is not available right now. As of this morning when I looked it up, it wasn't available. It is on back order, so it's coming back in, but you can't get it right this minute. So put it on your wish list for a future order. We're also going to be using the Celebrate with Tags stamp set, which, by the way, I believe this one is carrying over to the new catalog, if I remember correctly. So this isn't going anywhere. And then we're also going to use the Caroling Mice stamp set. Now, if you place a $100 order right now with the other host code I have going, you can get the Caroling Mice stamp set. And some of you took advantage of my offer that I had the 15th through the 18th, where you could get this for just a $50 order. Super cute set. It is a host stamp set, so you can't purchase this set. You can only get it free with when you place a certain amount of order. So that's the stamp sets we're using. And then we're going to be using the opal rounds throughout the class. And we're also using the brick and mortar embossing folder. So those are the basic supplies that I'm using, and we're just gonna hop in and get started. We're gonna start with a really sweet card, and I should mention we're also using that Celebrate Everything Designer Series paper. The Celebrate Everything Designer Series paper is so beautiful, and it was a free gift when you place a $50 order or more with me this month and use the other host code that I have available. You can get the paper for free, but it's great because it covers all of the occasions. So let me get my bone folder out here. So we're starting with a 4 1/4 by 11-inch piece of cardstock. And normally when I use this, I do a top folding card, but something that I think we forget to do that's really fun is to have a side fold in this direction. That's just a basic side fold. And I don't see that done very often. And I thought, you know, I'm gonna do that. All right, so we are going to use Stampin' Seal Plus and add this to our card front. And this is crushed curry cardstock, and it's cut, I want to say 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. There is a PDF. The PDF is free when you place a $35 online order. Oh, I just ran out of adhesive. I'm gonna have to refill that real quick. And then we've got our designer series paper piece here that's gonna layer right up on top of that. Let's go ahead and change out our adhesive. So simple to do. So this is Stampin' Up! Stampin' Seal Plus, and you just keep this plastic piece. You don't throw that out. What do you guys think of this nail color? I'm not sure how I feel about it. I decided I need something very fallish to go with like the feel of Thanksgiving. So I painted them with this color, which I think this is the first time I've used this color, but I'm not really sure how I feel about it. So you'll have to let me know what you think. All right, here we go. So now we've got a brand new adhesive and we're good to go. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is layer this strip of cardstock. And then we've got another piece of the designer series paper. This Celebrate Everything designer series paper is just so cute. It is a host gift in the holiday catalog, so you cannot purchase this paper. It's free with an order. All right, now we're gonna piece together this little barrel, and I wanna just show you here in the dies. So the dies come so that you can stamp this and cut it out, which we'll also be doing, or you can use these little pieces and parts to build your own. So we are just gonna build our own, and I'm gonna use my multi-purpose glue here. To build our little basket. And then we have our other pieces and parts. I like to do the top and the bottom of the basket first, and then that kind of gives me where I need to go with my middle piece of metal. And I cut these in smoky slate. So the base of this basket is cut in early espresso. The wicker part, or the wooden part that I just layered, is soft suede. And then these pieces are smoky slate, because we want them to kind of look like metal. And I'm going to show you how to enhance that, and it's just a fun little trick. So what I'm going to do before I finish this off, oh, and I'm just realizing I'm missing my little handle. Huh, I might have to cut one of those. Okay, so we're going to take our smoky slate Stampin' blends, and we're just going to go right over the top of the smoky slate cardstock, just like so. This is also a technique that's really fun to do, but I don't see a lot of people doing it, where you can color on colored cardstock. And I think we forget that we can do that. And then I've got my dark smoky slate, and I'm just gonna come in on the edges with that. And it doesn't really matter if you do this before you assemble or after. I just prefer doing it after because it's kind of easier to handle it all, if that makes sense. So then we're just blending this out with the light. And you'll see it's gonna flush back and be really beautiful once it sets. Okay, then we have to add all of our little apple pieces. So what we're gonna do is when you die cut it, I die cut it with Parakeet Party and I die cut the whole thing in green, but I want the stem of my apple to be brown. I don't want it to be green. So we're gonna go ahead and grab a soft suede and just color the stem, just like that. So super simple. And then we've got a brown stem with a green leaf. And these are kind of fussy little parts. If fussy little parts are hard for you, there are a few things you can do. I know some people who struggle with arthritis have a hard time with little fussy pieces and parts. Basically, if you have any issues with your dexterity, you might have hard times. So I recommend using the Take Your Pick tool. It's got this sticky stuff that comes out the top here. I'm just pushing it out, tightening it so it'll come out further. There it goes. So that's nice and sticky. And then of course the other end has a stylus and other components, but you can pick it up like this. And then you don't have to worry about messing it up or it not, you know, being too difficult. So we're gonna add a little bit of glue to the back of this apple. I'm gonna just, my hands are so cold. So I guess it's if you have dexterity problems or if your hands are cold. We're just gonna glue this little piece right to the back of the apple and then look at that. Oh, look how cute that is. You got this little teensy tiny little apple, so dang cute. Okay, so we're gonna build all of our apples really quick. And again, like I said, fussy little parts, this might not appeal to you, but it's so worth it in the end. I'm telling you, so worth it. And I do have 4 apples here, but I'm only gonna put 3 together. Actually, I'll put 4 together. I'm gonna do something different. So we are going to finish assembling these. So you can just put it on the stem as well. And you do want to let them sit for a little bit because you want that glue to set up. See, just like that, just fell right off. You don't want that. You don't want that. I'm teaching a class right now. Do you need something? Okay. All right. So my kiddo just came in. All right. Now we are going to adhere our apples to our little basket, whatever you want to say. So I just put some adhesive right there, and then I'm just going to go along and kind of situate these little apples so that they look like they're, whoops, popping up out of the basket, which is so stinking cute. And there's no adhesive there. Okay, let's add a little more adhesive. And now it's all over my fingers, which I cannot stand. So now I have to do this. Remember when you were in school, you got would put Elmer's glue all over your hand and then you just peel it off? Oh, I loved doing that when I was a kid. Okay, so now we're going to add Stampin' Dimensionals. You guessed it, because I can't make a card without dimension. I just can't. I love my dimensionals. And I'm gonna put some up here over the top of the apples as just an extra little security of making And then we will add this right here like so. How beautiful is that? And then we could even do, I've decided I want to do one more apple since I have it. All right, let me pick this up. We're gonna do one more apple on the outside of the bucket or basket or whatever we're calling it. That'll be cute. Okay. Just like so. Oh, so cute. Okay, so there's that, and we'll just throw this other little leaf in the garbage. It's fine. Okay, now we have to do our sentiment. And I thought a great sentiment for this was sending you some get well cheer. So it just looks happy and fun, and it's great for the fall season, and which is when everybody starts getting sick. Am I right? Can I get an amen? You know, it is just what's happening, people. It is what is happening. So I thought using soft suede ink would be really pretty for this. Grab one of my clear blocks, ink that up, and then I'm gonna stamp on this scrap piece of white cardstock, and it's a little crooked, so I'm gonna do it again. I do prefer a straight sentiment, I'll tell you. Can't get it right every time, but I try. Okay. I'm gonna zoom you guys in a little. Is that better? Is that a little better? All right. So now I'm gonna trim in, but I'm being very careful to leave a little space before and after my sentiment. Oh my God, my husband is literally right out my window now with the leaf blower, and I want to scream at him. Stop! Can you guys hear it? It's very noisy. He should be done soon, hopefully. Good Lord. I can't catch a break. I'm gonna tell you, it doesn't matter. I could plan this. I could plan our live events for midnight, and there would be something that would interrupt me. Yesterday, I had a craft together event with my team, and it was at 3:30 in the afternoon. And I get a call at 3:25 from my niece who says she has missed the bus and needs somebody to come get her. And I'm like, seriously? So I had to, thankfully my husband was off work and he could go get her. Otherwise I would have had to have her call her mom who was at work. Because I wasn't going to cancel my craft together with my team. Look how cute this is when you add these. Look at that. Is that not the cutest dang card you ever did see? And isn't it fun that it opens from the side? Now you could add a little pocket here and put a little pack of tea in it or something like that. Or tuck it in a basket with other goodies. Well, no, just whatever you could think of that would help somebody with getting well. Oh my goodness, he's coming back. Good grief. Okay. You guys don't seem to be fazed by him blowing the leaves at all. It's just irritating me. So on this one, I have the little handle here, which is a die cut. And I will add it to this one, but I'm not going to do that right now because you get the idea. All I did is I die cut it in smoky slate, and then I colored in soft suede the little handle piece. So that is that card. Super cute. Okay. The next card, and I think this is going to be our thank you card for this class. Sorry to tell you, Miss Deborah. Miss Deborah will make those. So, all right, let's move to our next card. Our next card uses the same Celebrate Everything Designer Series paper. And I've gone ahead and done some of the stamping ahead of time just because I wanted to save us some time. So we're gonna start with our card base. This one's gonna be a 4 1/4 by 11 that is top folding. And then I have a piece of Pool Party cardstock for our first layer. I know Tracy is chiming in from Australia and saying, I'm always trying to get my husband on my videos, and now he is. Yes, but not that way. I would prefer him to be in here hanging out versus running the Danks blower. Good Lord. It is really, truly always something, you guys. If you followed me long enough, you know it. You know it's true. If it's not a dog, it's a person. If it's, you know, if it's not a person, it's a dog. It's just something. It's always something. So I figure at this point, I'm just going to learn to roll with it. And if somebody watching can't stand noise being made in the background on occasion, then I'm probably not the person you should be hanging out with. That's all I know to tell you, because I'm a mess. You know, I'm not a mess. I'm perfectly fine. It's all the people in my life. That's what's, they're the mess. Okay. Let's do, no, I am kind of a mess too. I can't lie. Let's do our sentiment. So we're going to stamp Merry Christmas. We're just going to go ahead and clean this stamp really quick. So my favorite way to clean stamps above all else is using the Stampin' Scrub. And I just clean off like this, dry off like that. I use the spray. There's little symbols down here that tell you this is the wet side, this is the dry side. And it's my absolute favorite. And it's always out on my craft desk. I never put it away because that's what I use. So, and I always clean my stamps before I put them away. Always, always, always. All right, we're going to use the Merry Christmas sentiment. And I cannot remember now if this is stamped in, I think it's real red. We're gonna find out. Might be Poppy Parade. Let's see. No, is it real red? No, it's Poppy Parade, I think. Jeez, Wendy, get it together. See, I told you I am a mess. Okay, Poppy Parade it is. Poppy Parade is one of my very favorite colors of all time. There we go. And then we're gonna cut another banner end over here, just like we did on that other card. Okay, and we're gonna add this piece on dimensionals. And I'm gonna try to keep the dimensionals away from the top because we're gonna tuck something behind there. So get these all situated. All right, now we are gonna do some stamping and coloring. So I have 2 trees. Oh, I lied, I only stamped 1 tree apparently. I should have 2 trees, but we're not gonna worry about it. We're just gonna start coloring. And we're gonna use Granny Apple Green, and we're gonna use dark first. So this is the Granny Apple Green Dark. And I'm using the bullet tip, and anywhere that there is a line, I'm gonna add dark color, okay? So underneath these tree branches would be a little bit darker because they're overlapping, so there would be a shadow. And then just adding a little bit of dark in the other areas, okay? And then we're gonna take and color our tree using our light granny apple green. But we're not done. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do next to really give more dimension. And you can go really, really crazy if you want and use like Mossy Meadow as your dark, but I'm not gonna do that. So now I'm gonna go back in with my dark and I'm doing it again, exactly where I did it before. Because when we add that light granny apple, it kind of fades out the dark. So we're going back in and adding more dark and we're done. That's how we color the tree. And we're gonna color the stump of the tree with soft suede. Now let's color our mouse, our little mouseketeer. We are going to use gray granite for his skin, for his fur. And I've been a big fan of the bullet tip end lately. So that's what I'm using. So this is the dark. So under his hat would be a shadow, right? And down here would be darker. And then we're gonna just do his little hands on the edges. And then under here would be darker because this is under his jacket. And down his legs and top of his tail would be darker. And then we're gonna go in with light gray granite and we're gonna color everywhere else, blending everything out. And then you guessed it, we're gonna go back in with the dark again and just go right on the very, 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 very edge of where we would want things to be a little darker. So we go dark, light, dark. Then we take our light Flirty Flamingo and give him a nice big rosy cheek, and we give him a pink ear, and it will go right over the top. It's called color glazing, and you can just color right over the top of the other color. You gotta be careful when you do this, but for the most part, you can get away with it. It's not a big deal. Okay, so pool party, dark. We're gonna start with our dark, and we're gonna go all along the bottom and under here, because it would be there would be a shadow here, right? So all of this would be darker. Then we're gonna come in with our light and blend it out. And then we're gonna go back in with the dark and just add just a touch in the area we want it to be darker. And then we just have to color the cute little outfit. And for this one, I'm taking my dark Flirty Flamingo and under the scarf here, where's your collar? My puppy just came in through the doggy door and she's missing her collar. Did you pull your collar off somewhere, Skeeter? Okay, then we're using our light. And honestly, I'm really happy with the dark and the light on this, so I'm not even gonna go back in with the dark. I think it's fine. We are gonna do his little hat green, or her. I don't know if this is a boy or a girl, but we're gonna do the hat green. And then we'll do the light granny apple green in the center. Okay, and then to top him off, to finish him off, I would fussy cut him out first, and then I will add this little opal round on the top of his hat. Isn't that cute? So when you're all done, you have this card. So that's how you do the coloring, and all of the parts and pieces. So you'll fussy cut these out and add them to your card, and you could do as many trees as you wanted, and then your little mouse. Super, super cute. Okay, let's move to our next card. I see you guys are just chatting it up. Is the handle all paper? Yes, the handle is all paper. Let me go through the chat really quick. Hello, everybody. We'll take a little intermission here before we get started on this next card. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. As a reminder, when you place a $35 online order using this host code from now until November 27th, you will get the PDF for this class and a special thank you card from me, finished and completed, handmade thank you card. And if you place a $50 order, you'll get the PDF, the thank you card, and these embellishments for free. Well, I'll get you a new one, not this old stinky one. Okay. Oh, Francis has a tip for us. Tracy, hi Wendy, this is Adam, just listening to Kevin do the yard work. Oh my gosh. So, yes, the handle is all paper. Wendy used the Stampin' Right pens. So Stampin' Right markers are used for watercolor, water-based techniques. They're not used for if you want smooth coloring. It's just a different technique. Truvy, Skeeter, and Buddy and Molly are not, okay, Buddy's in the office sleeping. The rest are outside, but we have a doggy door now, Miss Deborah, so they can come and go as they please. Hi, Wendy and everyone. Just finished making ham balls for tomorrow. That sounds yummy. Mouse is adorable. Love it. Cute stamp. I see you use the small end of the blends, not the brush. May have to try that. Thank you for coming. Yeah, so sometimes I use the brush and sometimes I use the bullet tip. Lately I've been preferring the bullet tip, and honestly I think it's just because the brush tip for some reason seems to have problems sooner than the bullet tip as far as like kind of fraying on the end. I think that's a pretty common theme with alcohol-based markers, especially if you use them on any sort of thing that isn't just paper. So the bullet tip seems to work great for coloring as well. All right, so we have our Poppy Parade card base, and it's cut at 4.25 by 5.5, and then we have a piece of basic white, and it's cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then we have a piece of designer series paper. This is that Celebrate Everything designer series paper. So cute. So this is a Valentine card, but you could obviously just do it for anything. It doesn't have to be Valentine's. I just was kind of going with the theme of like all the seasons, right? So this is kind of like my spring / whatever, getting into the new year. All right, now this is the trick I have to show you on this card. This piece is cut at 3 inches wide, and I think it's 10.5 inches long. And so I want to emboss it though. The problem is I can't emboss the whole thing, and I really only need to emboss the front. So what we do to make this dream come true is we are going to take the embossing folder, and we're just going to go to the score line and shut this down like so, and then gotta bring the big guy over here. we're gonna set it in here like this, and then we're using the special number 4 plate, which is for the 3D embossing folders, and we're gonna just run this through like so. And out on the other end, we have our embossed piece that's just halfway embossed, which is exactly what we need. Let me get this out of the way. All right. And then we can fold this in half. And we'll use our Stampin' Seal. And add it down, and now we just have this cute little flap that opens. Okay, so now we have to do all of our coloring, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to color the little, oh, you know what? I already have it all set up. I'm so amazing. All right, not really, but you know, a girl's got to give herself credit every once in a while. So using my Stamparatus, I'm able to ink up all of my pieces for this at one time. I just love using the Stamparatus. If you have a different stamp positioning tool, that works too. It really doesn't matter. It's just stamp positioning tools are amazing. So we're gonna stamp that down and see if we need any more ink anywhere, and I don't think we do. So we're good. I'm gonna set that aside, and now we can do all of our coloring. So the main thing I wanna show you is how I color the barrel. So we're gonna start with our dark, just like staying true to, or basket, I guess it's a basket. Okay, so underneath each rim would be darker because there would be a shadow there. So to make it easy, I just go all the way across just like this. Boom. That's gonna be darker, and under here is gonna be darker, okay? Then anywhere that something recesses in, so like right here, I'm gonna show you on my hand. Oh gosh, my hands are so ugly, but right here I'm gonna show you on my hand. If you look very closely, my hand is lighter here and darker in here because there's no light in here. So you can see that there's a darkness that goes in. So that's what makes it look like it's recessed. Where here is the lightest area of my hand. So it's the same here. These parts where it comes together would be darker because they would be kind of going in and not as much light would penetrate that area. So I'm just gonna take my marker and I'm gonna go over those areas. And then I'm also gonna do it on the edge here. Okay, then we'll take our, now this is where a brush tip comes in really great, is I'm just painting this whole thing. It doesn't have to be very precision, so it makes it easy to just kind of brush over the whole thing. And there we have our shading for the first round, but then we got to go back in with our dark, because the more dark you use, the more dimension you're gonna get. And the more it's going to feel like you're trying to make it feel, if that makes sense. Now, if you want, you could take your marker and lightly go over some of these other lines to just give it a little bit more interest. Maybe don't do all of them, but just do a few of them. And there you have that part of the barrel. Now we're going to use Smoky Slate to color our metal pieces. So where's my other Smoky Slate marker? I only have light. I need my dark. Oh, there it is. It was hiding. Okay, so whenever you're trying to make something look metal or metallic, you want to leave lots of highlight. So we're using dark smoky slate first for the edges. Okay. If you guys have any questions, please just pop them in the comments section. Hi, Rosemary. Hi, Bev. Hello, Karen. All right. And then we have our light. So we're just going to blend that. And we're going to leave this nice big highlight in the middle. When you leave highlights, it makes something look round. It gives it the effect that it's further forward than the edges. So nice big highlight. Now we are going to use the light black. Now I wait to do this till I've done my other because you really don't want to, overuse this. So this is going to make it recess even more on the edges. Okay. Then we're going to go back in with our dark. This is the dark smoky slate. So we've used light black and dark smoky slate on the edges. Okay. And then we're going to go back in with our light over the top. But I'm not going to bring it all the way out to this edge. I'm just kind of like trying to blend so there's not such a harsh line between the dark and the light. Then, last but not least, we're going to use our color lifter and we're going to do the center. And this is just going to soften those edges of the smoky slate. And you're done. Isn't that beautiful? Really, that color lifter is what brings it all together. So it ends up just being really, really beautiful. Okay, now let's color for the hearts. Super simple. I did dark anywhere where one heart was laying on top of another heart, right? So we're gonna darken it there in that area. And I used Real Red, or excuse me, I used Poppy Parade and what is this color? Flirty Flamingo. Did I? Oh, I don't think I did. I used Polished Pink, excuse me. This is the wrong color. I just had it out. Anyway, you get the point. So I used Polished Pink and Poppy Parade for the hearts. And then for the kitty, I used Gray Granite. So you might be thinking like, well, how do you choose your grays? And I stamped a little too much here on this kitty. But I'm going to give you a brief overview of how to color the kitty. Oh, and we need our brown handle over here. Okay. So for the kitty, I used Gray Granite. Now, this is how I determine if I use Gray Granite or Smoky Slate. Gray Granite is a warm gray. What that means is the undertone of it falls into a warm category. So like orange is a warm color, red is a warm color. Those colors are all warm, where blue and green are cool colors. So Smoky Slate has a cool undertone and Gray Granite has a warm undertone. So the way I determine what I'm going to use is if the object is living, if it would be something that would be alive, like a kitty, it's going to get gray granite. If it's something that's metal or inanimate, it's smoky slate because it's a cool tone. So it's dead. That's how I look at it. So if something is living, it's going to be gray granite. If something is inanimate or not living and not a living thing, then it's going to be smoky slate. And this is how simple I kept my coloring for my kitty. I literally just put some little dark areas where, because Stampin' Up! Already did the dark for you. You already know where the dark goes, right? It goes where all of these little lines are. So just go over those little lines, and then like in here, you're gonna go dark in the center because his little legs are laying on top. Okay. And then anywhere else. So that's how I colored the kitty. Then I die cut everything out and added it to the front, and this is the finished product. Isn't that cute? So as a finishing touch, I added some Flirty Flamingo in the kitty's ears, and I added these little opal rounds that are from the Opal Rounds pack. Now remember, these are free when you place a $50 online order by November 27th using this special host code. So this is the class embellishment only. This is not something that I'm giving away all month. So that is that. And you also get the PDF and the card, and you guys know that. All right, so that's that. So for the next, you know what? I should show you this really quick just because it's super cute. This little XOXO. It is in the Celebrate with Tags. And I used Poppy Parade ink, sticking with my Poppy Parade theme, and stamped it. And then I just hand cut it out. Super simple to hand cut these little pieces out. Okay, let's move to our next card. Card number 4. So for this card, we're doing a 4 1/4 by 11 inch top again, same thing. And we've got a bunch of layers of designer series paper and cardstock. So on dimensionals, by the way, if you didn't already know this, you can cut your edges when you're done using everything up in the center. Just cut your edges like so, and then you've got more dimensionals. So when you purchase Stampin' Dimensionals, it tells you there's 300 dimensionals in one pack, which is kind of a lie because then you get all these extra little dimensionals on the side. But I guess they have no way to tell you how many you would get, right? So gosh, gotta remove all these pieces and parts. And one more over here. And I've already shared, you guys know you get the PDF for the $35 order also. So if you want the PDF for this class with all the photos and the measurements and all of that, that is free when you place a $35 order using that special host code. And please use the host code, because listen, this is the problem when you don't use a host code when you order from me. I am so internally grateful for your orders. You have no idea. Literally, you have no idea. But if you don't use the host code, 2 things happen. 1, I don't know if you want the stuff from the class or if you want my normal host code offer, because every month I do a host code offer, right? So if you want the normal host code offer, you got to use that host code. If you want the special class host code offer, you got to use that host code. That's the first problem. If you don't use a host code, then I don't know what you want. The second problem, and the bigger problem, is that Stampin' Up! Has seriously cracked down on us calling them and adding the host code for you. And they are kind of ornery about it, to be totally honest. They're like, first of all, we can only add 10 a month. So if we call and we've already done 10 for the month, I can't add your host code. And the problem with that is then I can't get the points in order to get the freebies that I promise you. So you gotta use the host code. Please, 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 please. All right, so there's the card base. Very, very simple and basic. And this is that Celebrate Everything Designer Series paper again. So pretty. So then I've got a little stitched rectangle die here, and we're gonna do some fun stamping. So I'm gonna use my basket. Oops. Oh, hold on. I gotta get it attached here and then clean it. What is going on? Good Lord. All right, there we go. Cleaned off. Now I need my ink. So we're using Memento Tuxedo Black ink. So whenever you're using alcohol-based markers, which we're doing in this entire class, you always want to use Memento Tuxedo Black ink or an alcohol-safe ink, because some are not, in case you didn't know. I can already tell this didn't stamp all the way. Right there. That's okay. This is why you use the Stamparatus. Gosh darn it. Okay, and now we're going to use the... This should give all of you the feels, because it gives me the feels every time I use it. I'm just like, oh, look at our little crafty basket. So then this stamp... is the little crafty tools in your basket. How sweet is that? And then we just have to color it. So we're just gonna do some quick coloring. So you're using Daffodil Delight here. And I'm not even worrying about shading this top part, because there's a lot of little pieces and parts going on, and so there's really no point in like spending a bunch of time shading it. We're gonna make our Stampin' Right marker black, of course, the base of it anyway, I should say. We are gonna do a little shading here on these scissors just because we want them to appear metal. Remember, we talked about that. So that's the dark part there. Then we're gonna come in with our smoky slate. Oh, here's the smoky slate dark. So just gonna take a little extra time with the scissors, but everything else is not. Okay, there's that. And then we're gonna come in with our light. Gotta use the other end. Okay. And then I can see I have to color this guy black right here. There's that. We're gonna use our dark Pool Party. So a lot of these colors are colors I already have out, right? Because I've been coloring. So I'm just kind of reusing several of the colors that I've already used. And then we'll use our green. So our Granny Apple is going to be darker underneath and darker on the edges and lighter out here where it comes out in front. It would be darker right here too. There we go. All right, and then we're gonna use our light Granny Apple green. And then color this guy. Oh, you know what, we're gonna color the outside of the bottle too. And then we need a little red, so we're gonna add some Poppy Parade. And again, I'm not even doing any shading or shadowing here, just adding color. And then our pencil will do green. Hi, honey.
There's stuff in the stove.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do with it? Timer went off.
Oh, you can just set it on the counter. It's just bread rising. Thank you. All right. So there's that. And now I'm going to take my light smoky slate and I'm going to go in and add just a little bit of shading here. Wherever something is supposed to appear white, you always want to add a little bit of shading, okay? All right, so then you already saw how I colored the barrel on the other one I just showed you. So this is our finished card. Isn't that fun? So this whole piece will just get adhered to here. And then I stamped the inspired by you sentiment and punched it out with a little circle punch and added it right to the center of the basket. And that is the finished card. Isn't that fun? So stinking cute and simple. So let's bring all of our cards in so you can see them all finished. I'm gonna zoom out a little. There we go. There's all 4 of our seasonal cards. Okay. Oh wow, that color lifter is awesome. You are so skilled at the alcohol marker blending. Oh, thanks, Melinda. I appreciate that. Sandra, I love the technique for metal. Teresa says, great coloring tips. So glad I caught you live. I'm glad you caught me live too. I don't know what you guys are laughing at. Living warm colors, not living cool colors. I don't know what you guys are laughing at because, which is funny because tombstones are granite. That is true. Absolutely love the cards. Very cute. Purchase this bundle. Cutest cards. All the cards are gorgeous cards. This is an amazing class. Thank you, Tracy. Love the craft supplies in the basket card. Yes, isn't it fun? Doesn't it just warm your heart? It really just, you know, warms the heart of every crafter, I have to say. So yeah, that's our finish. And this one, I'm just realizing as I'm looking at it, I didn't add any of those little enamel dots. I should probably do that. But all the rest of the cards use the enamel or opal rounds, excuse me, not enamel dots, opal rounds. I just love how all of them turned out. I really wanted to just spend some time coloring and sharing with you guys some of the tricks of the trade I've learned with coloring. And yeah, so thank you for tuning in. And if you have any questions, let me know. And you can always place your order through the 27th using this host code to get all the freebies that I'm offering. And I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day. Thanks for hanging out with me, and happy Thanksgiving to all of you that will be celebrating Thanksgiving tomorrow. I know that I was gonna say to everyone in the US, but my friend Tracy, who's on here that lives in Australia, is really an American at heart, was what I've decided. So she actually celebrates Thanksgiving with her family, even though Thanksgiving is not celebrated in Australia. So I think that's so fun. All right, have a great Thanksgiving weekend. I have a Black Friday special coming out tomorrow that is just for my online store of my personal products, like my PDFs and my online classes and my retired product. It's going to be 50% off everything. And so that starts tomorrow. So if you want to shop with me tomorrow and get some of my PDFs or classes, or get those mystery boxes, I have 7 mystery boxes left and they are $50 a piece, but they're going to be half off tomorrow. So there's a coupon code. The coupon is thankful, and you can use that. So you guys are getting to hear about it before other people. So there you go. All right. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys again soon. Bye-bye.